Hello everyone. It looks like the original video that I recorded on Dickinson was somehow cut too short, so I'm going to record another short video just talking a little bit through Dickinson's style to give you a better understanding of her and the style that she uses. I think Dickinson was probably the first poet I ever read in grade school, and so she has a special place in my heart. Partly because I knew from early age that she was a shy, reclusive person, and I think I felt attracted to that as far as being a shy kid myself. You have undoubtedly read some of Dickinson's work before and are familiar with her cryptic style of writing. In a lot of ways, Dickinson is a grammatical rule breaker. She doesn't abide by the rules of grammar that a lot of other poets did or do even today. She completely eliminates helping verbs. She changes the ending of nouns and adjectives and adverbs. She doesn't really enjoy or employ punctuation other than the exclamation point or the dash. She uses a lot of em dashes. And she writes very cryptically. We don't always know what she's referencing. Sometimes the subject of the poem is not ever mentioned in the poem itself, so it's up to the reader to understand or try to understand what she's even talking about. She was a very passionate and almost sensual person, even though she was a very reclusive person. She spent a good portion of her adult life alone in a bedroom writing, and she wrote copiously. She wrote and wrote and wrote, and apparently upon her death, her sister found reams of poems and writings that she had done, and did share most of them with the world, but apparently decided that there were some pieces that would possibly damage Dickinson's image or the image of Dickinson's family, and so did not choose to share those with the world. It is also speculated that Dickinson had a crush or a passion for a man in her life, possibly a preacher, and that some of the poems, especially the more sensual poems, are directed at him, although it is believed that love, those feelings, was never reciprocated or requited. She is a pretty short, cryptic poet. She doesn't write long tomes of poetry. She often conflates sensual passion with the ecstasy of God and religion, and so there's an amalgamation of those things. She's very into nature and her natural surroundings. She's from the East Coast and from a pretty simplistic family that didn't believe in a lot of ostentation, a lot of showiness. So her world was her room, her family, and the out of doors. So that's what she wrote about. And you can love or hate Dickinson. I feel like my appreciation for her has grown over the years, and maybe that's just taking a little bit more time with her pieces. I think that she's wily, and she's sly, and she's smart, and she's got a sense of humor in her too. No doubt she's also morbid. A lot of her pieces deal with death and the notion of what it would be like to be in a room after you've died and people are standing around your body. So she seems somewhat obsessed with that. But enjoy reading Dickinson. Try to allow for those dashes and those awkward pauses and her misuse or creative use of grammar and sentence structure. Enjoy reading.